Okay, so it's called Twine because it basically makes these like links, like these string links between things. And we're going to pretend that you are the MLB commissioner and you have to make decisions based on, the COVID pandemic. So I'm just going to double click on this to edit this and you'll see this. This is the editor. And so this is our first one. And so we're going to call this congratulations on your new job. Right, so that's a header. This will be kind of the header that you see, and then we'll put tags or text in here. And this is something for tags. We'll use that later when we want to add some background images and things. But for the most part, you don't really need a lot of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete what's there. And when you delete there, you'll see some tips and tricks on things, and it's mostly this type of stuff that we'll be using here. So I'll go through all this, but let's make our first passage here. It says, "Congratulations on your new job. You have just been hired as the new MLB commissioner." I should spell it right? And now, what I find really interesting about news games is that this is probably one of your only opportunities to write something in second person. And so that's really interesting, right? So it's like, you have done this. You are going to do this, right? You really don't have in journalism a lot of, or other storytelling, marketing storytelling, the reason to write in second person. The date is March 10th, 2020. It is an interesting time as the COVID pandemic is just beginning, right? So again, we're gonna kind of put them through this. And so now that's nothing. So you can't click off it or it won't create things. You should always make sure you click this X. It's just a little buggy that way. So make sure you click the X here to go. And so now we have this, but that doesn't really help us because now we're just stuck in one spot and we want to make the twines. And so this is the most important thing right here. Let's go back in this and we're going to say, I'm going to give them choices on what to do. And this is just going to be not a false choice, but just kind of an inconsequential choice here that they're going to make. And I'm going to say, great, let's celebrate. And I'm going to say, whoops, you see this little thing there. Great, let's actually see if this works. I'm going to have to probably do this video. Let's get to work. And then when I click this X, you're going to see that this has added these two new passages here based on what I named these, right? So I said, great, let's celebrate, great, let's go to work. The only reason I put that slash there is because when I code, I generally will what's called escape things. I guess you don't really need that here. So I'm going to double click this passage, right? So again, this is an inconsequential choice. You really tie one on, but the next day you get to work, right? And then I'm going to go to this one and I'm going to say, okay, your first, you get to your office bright and early. And I'm just going to stop it there for right now, because right now I'm just showing you what's, how to make these twines. Now you can move these around however you want. It's kind of inconsequential. You could probably leave them however they go, but if there's some reason you want to move these around. But let's actually look at what happens, what I just made. So if I go to play, you'll see right now it's not very styled. We're going to style it later, but this is the default style. So it says, you've just been hired as a new MLB commissioner. The date is March 10th, 2020. It is an interesting time as the COVID pandemic is beginning. And it's like, great, let's celebrate. Great, let's get to work. So I'm gonna celebrate. I'm a kind of celebrator kind of guy. So I'm gonna click on that. You really tie it on the next day you get to work. So now we still have to obviously keep people moving. And this is, again, this is one of those, I guess what's called a false choice, right? They're going to be doing there, but no matter what, they're going to eventually pretty much get onto the same thing. Is really inconsequential, is a false choice, right? And so you saw I could go back and forward with this on the left here. And if I say, great, let's get to work. Okay, you get to your office bright and early. So that is, in a nutshell, some of the basic starting points.